Hey everyone, welcome to That Pedal Show. VCQ, Dan here.
Mick here, hello.
We've been having some fun today, and I am fizzy as a very fizzy boy. A real Fender Vibratone, and mixing that in with some glorious things, and I'm so happy right now.
It's pretty mega.
Pretty mega.
I am. Hello everyone, welcome to VCQ. Please let us know that you can hear and see us. I'm just going to turn stuff off because the hum is quite significant through the dear microphones. Goodbye Vibratone. We do love you, but by God do you hum.
I am seriously considering some sort of project where I make one. I think that'll be really fun.
It's very cool. It has been done.
Oh, has it? I bet it has.
Yeah.
Such a great sound.
How's your microphone angle of dangle, Daniel?
Yeah, it's good. I might just come back in there. There we go.
Thank you. Welcome everyone. For those of you returning, you'll know what this is all about. Every Monday we do a live show.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
And it is Tuesday.
And therein lies this week's gag, because we don't doing it Tuesday today because we've had some filming operations.
We have.
Are the people on, Daniel? Can they see us and hear us?
Yes. Yeah, lovely. People saying that the audio is good, that the guitar was low, but it's okay because the guitar was really loud in here and it sounded wonderful.
You're only playing at 90 dB apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you were quiet.
BV's just messaged you.
Who's on, Dan?
Okay, we've got, lovely, Tim Parker, Todd Roy, Jacques Butler, Dan V, Mr. M Miller, and Simon V RDJ. G'day, mate. Hope you're amazing. Who else we got on? BV, of course. Thank you again, BV, for all of your help, as always. Truly wonderful. And thanks for all the love. I am feeling much, much, much better. Thank you. It was... I caught the flu, and it was really rough, but I'm back, and yeah, very, very good, very good. So yes, thank you all so much. Eagle Ray Rob, g'day mate. Zuta Lures, James Bless, Todd Roy, lovely. The whole gang's back together. Very cool. Yeah, so we've been having an amazing day. There's a really cool video going up this Friday. So while I was off being poorly, Mick got together with a fellow Stevie Ray Vaughan aficionado, Scott McKeon, and they went to town. They went to the Stevie Ray Vaughan town. Population, those two. It was wicked. So yeah, that's really, really fun. And Scott was kind enough to leave some of the stuff here, and we've had a really good crack at getting the Vibratone sound today with some other rotating Leslie type speaker pedals. No spoilers, but
Partial spoiler.
partial spoiler.
We had 5 amps going, including Toilet Deluxe Reverb.
It's so good,
It's very good.
so good.
On a different day, I could have shown you a clip, couldn't I? If I'd been a bit more organised.
It's all good.
Okay, housekeeping.
Check out these
Check how many
wonderful teas.
super chats we've got. Good. I'll turn super chats off in a minute. Yeah, this year's seasonal T-shirt is in.
Long sleeve, mega awesome quality. What are they called? Premium.
They are really, really
They're
nice.
so
actually.
nice.
And as you can see, it's the return of the pedal deer, this time in gold top form.
In gold top. Check it out. It's a gold top.
Actual gold. Real gold.
And Mick and I have taken a little bit of our blood and vial and mixed it in with the red paint for the nose.
Yep.
A la Kiss 1977.
There you go. So please go to that pedal show store and buy them, because we need to sell them.
Yes.
Catherine's saying, when
there's
they're
not-
gone,
we've-
they're gone.
Yeah, there's 100 odd, and then once they're gone, that's it.
There's just
So,
no more.
No more.
When they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
Also,
This is my favourite Christmas tea we've ever done. I love this. I think it's awesome.
it is really good.
It's really, really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I think it's very stylish with the gold as well.
Yeah, the gold is. I didn't know that. Yeah, then long sleeves.
It goes with my...
Because it's snowing in the UK at the moment.
It is. It is. It goes with my dual axle gold Mercedes G-Wagon.
Ah, very good. Thought you were going to say your gold clone, but no. We had to get silly with it.
Have you ever seen a gold dual axle Mercedes G-Wagon?
No.
It's quite the vehicle. It's quite the vehicle. Okay, I'm going to turn the Super Chai off because we probably have enough.
Okay.
If you haven't joined us on VCQ for a while, you'll notice that we now have guitars and guitar sounds, so we can sort of demo stuff live. And we haven't messed about with amp modelling or other such things. It's actually full-on TPS mics, loud,
Come on.
full fat.
Come on.
So yeah. So we can do that.
Somebody's asking about strings.
Oh. So, yes, we had a really interesting thing a while ago where we tried some new strings out, and we've now have our own String Joy strings. And I believe they're available now.
No, they're on their way.
They're on their way now.
They're
They're on their way. So they're coming. But we've now all strung up with String Joy and loving them.
Yeah, very much loving them. They'll be in within the next week-ish, I guess. I've gone slightly lighter in my choice. Dan has stayed the same in his gauges.
I went to go lighter and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
My hands are all taloned up and burnt over and broken.
I really want to play lighter, but today I was just hitting the guitar so hard and it doesn't sound good. It's like I've got to just figure out how to hit the guitar lighter.
Right, okay.
The trouble is, that guitar is twice the volume of any of my guitars. Tellys.
Oh,
So
okay.
whenever I play, it's only half as loud because it's the
right,
Strat.
because you sit next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But when I play, the amps are up like twice as loud.
Yes.
And I just tickle, and I much prefer that.
Yeah.
So we need to find a way around that. Anyway, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Christmas teas. Please buy them from that Pedal Show store. Look out for the strings coming soon. Final bit of housekeeping. If you look at pedal cam for a second, you will see on the board here this Reeves daughter board facet fuzz. It's a fuzz face and it's a BC128 transistor, I think. Marcus and Izzy have very, very kindly built another one. Guess what for? For the Patron giveaway
Oh, lovely.
this month. It
That's very kind.
It comes with a load of information about the lineage of the transistor that's in it.
Oh, wicked. I like that.
And it really does sound killer. It's a fuzz face type, the beautiful box, built by Izzy, daughter board Reeves. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
guys. We
it's
really
magic.
appreciate that. So that will be this month's Patron giveaway
We've been recording with this one today, and it really does sound superb.
for a show that will come out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Talk more about that in a bit. But yeah, so if you are a current patron, you will get an email in due course telling you how you can go about being in it to win it. Great. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Reeves folk. That's very kind of you. Right. Let's get on with the chat then, shall we?
Yep.
I
Lots of people saying that they love the Robin show on the Friday, the pedal board I built for Robin. That's very kind. It was really fun. Getting to work with Robin and hang out and build bricks for him is always a blast.
It was great. It was really good. It's so nice to see him kind of just mucking about in his sitting room as well.
Yeah. And he sounds that good just mucking about. Yeah, it's amazing.
Good. Okay. Let's say hello to John Cooper, James
Hello, John.
Blessed, to Planet Ross, to Jim McGee, to Eric R, to DJ Rick Dawson. Chris Quinn is on. Bill Barefoot is on. Richard Pribenow, Robert Payne, Adam D, James McLean, Ed Airfire is on. David Pekarski. Lots of old friends.
Yes. Susan Lewis is on. James Blessed. Beautiful.
Ed Miller says audio is bad. Hopefully it's improved. We do have to figure out a way of monitoring it. We've got no way of monitoring it, and
It
it's
says sound is okay.
really annoying.
Ignore other two contrary. Must be down their end.
Okay,
He's
great.
saying it's good for him.
Okay,
Great.
Apparently the guitar was too quiet. That's because he wasn't playing very loud.
Eric Wood says, I'm live. Love you guys. Thank you, mate. Yes, it's interesting doing this on a Tuesday. And everyone's turned up. So thank you. That's great. Bulletproof Panda says, your audio is great. So is your name. That's wonderful.
Good. Okay, let us then... Oh, thank you to BV for being
Yes, BV.
in the chat. And sorry we didn't tell you earlier, BV, that it was on Tuesday this week, not Monday. I find myself juggling, Daniel, at the moment at a rate that I don't normally juggle.
You're doing great, though.
And it's quite... inevitably you drop a ball or two. Sorry, BV.
Yeah. In the run-up to Christmas, it's a straight line from sort of September
I'm fanning this is doing my head.
to straight through to Christmas. Especially now, it's full on.
Groovy.
Oh, we do, and we do have some more things coming up between now and Christmas.
Yeah, we
Which
kind
is
of
awesome.
We got 3 things coming out in the next 2 or 3 months. And we sort of want to tell you what they are so that you don't go, oh, I'll buy that one and then spend all your cash and not be able to buy the thing you really want coming down the track. The only thing is, if we tell you what they are, it will really spoil the surprise.
Yeah, we like the surprise.
We're going to tell you that there's 2 pedals.
There's 2 pedals.
One might be in the modulation category.
One might be a boosty category.
Might be in the boosty octafuzz category. Just might be.
Might be. We're
Just
not saying
might
they
be.
are.
Just might be. And the other thing might be some things that you attach to guitars to
Make them be amplified.
transduce string
So, yeah,
vibration
yeah.
into electrical current.
There you go.
That might be.
That might be, but we're not.
So there might be 3
There might
things
be
coming.
things. There might be things.
Yeah, just for our nearest and dearest,
Yep.
because we want you to be aware.
Yep. In Santa's super sack.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Have a good old rummage around in there and find the things you like the best. Okay, without further ado, Super Chats. Thank you to everyone who Super Chats. It really does help. And we love talking. So, that works. Plexico, Duncan, as
G'day,
always,
mate.
mate, thank you so much. Duncan says, hi, D&M. Telly Tuesday. And Dan is back. Cheers.
So good to be back.
Daniel,
You missed it, didn't you? You didn't get. You were a little bit poorly, but then you just dodged it.
not this time.
You went, ole.
Had it a good 2 times since April, so
Yeah, right.
not again.
Yeah.
I feel good that we didn't get it again, but to anyone suffering with seasonal crap, may you improve soon.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Daniel Thornton, greetings from cold, windy and rainy Seattle. Do you have any favourite non-lead guitar parts you've learned and that we should study, and why? Thanks for all you should do.
Non-lead guitar parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Non-lead.
It's funny, isn't it? So, all right, here is this a non-lead guitar part? What? No, it's fine. I'm just gonna.
Badge. Yeah, it's really interesting that, because it's not what people think it is.
But is it lead guitar?
No, it's just. It's great. Beautiful. There you go.
So is that a non-lead guitar part?
Um,
Because it's a melody, and it's in the lead of the song.
but it's got chords. I guess it is top line.
So we're going to say the breakdown in Badge is really cool. Got
Yeah.
one?
I would say. I've been learning quite, like, transcribing a few things lately, but they've all been top line stuff. What's a really good
The AC/DC song, which we shan't play,
Yes.
which starts
okay.
in E and goes to D, and then might play this chord. That one you
That
should
one,
learn.
definitely.
Back in Black.
Yep.
Um,
Okay. You want... Joe Pass has done some... lots of recordings with Ella Fitzgerald. Go and have a listen. Pick any song that you know and just have a listen to how Joe Pass does his comping. So it's just one jazz guitar and one voice, right? And what he plays is really simple, but his tempos are perfect. His... Just like for an accompaniment, like a jazz accompaniment for a vocal, you don't have to be all silly with the chords. A lot of the chords he plays are really basic, but how he sits with the vocalist is amazing. So that's what I would recommend. Go and have a listen to any of the stuff that Joe Pass recorded with Ella Fitzgerald.
Something a little more accessible. If It Makes You Happy by Sheryl Crow.
That's good.
This guitar is never going to be in tune again.
Yeah. Oh, God, there's so much stuff.
And then, like, it's interesting, isn't it? Because what is non-lead? Is it chords? Like,
Yeah, rhythm stuff.
And Your Bird Can Sing by the Beatles.
Yeah,
Is that a lead guitar part? I guess it is.
Yeah, top line, yeah.
But it's a really good part.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all good.
There's loads of suggestions in the comments.
I'm just going to forget this guitar. It's never going to be in tune again.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
What's coming up in the comments, Sam?
Suggestions.
Any Willie Dixon song, that's fine. Born to be Wild.
Oh, Alive
Oh!
by Pearl Jam, says James Bless.
Yes.
Good shout.
ZZ Top. Have a listen to his rhythm playing. It is just incredible. He's so in the pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Pippa Smith quite rightly points out, rhythm isn't always chords. There's all that really great stuff, like James Brown, for example.
Mm-hmm.
All those little sort of skanky riffs and stuff. I think my computer's dying, which is not ideal.
Yeah. Alive by Pearl Jam. Yeah, lots of good stuff. Peter Buck. Johnny Marr, man. I mean, what is wonderful about Johnny's playing is that he plays counterpoint to melody.
Right.
So he plays the most interesting rhythm parts, because if you listen to what old what are the flowers he used to throw at people?
Carnations?
No.
Roses?
No, it's same thing Dame Edna Everage used to throw at people. Gladioli or something like that. So
What?
the old gladioli chucker. If you listen to his vocals, they were really simple, and he had a style that was sort of throughout all their stuff, and so much of the interesting stuff going on melodically is what Johnny's doing with the guitar, and lyrically it's amazing, and all that stuff, but rhythmically, harmonically, the amount of music that Johnny's injecting into those tunes is astonishing. So yeah, some really great stuff.
And I guess we could throw the edge in there as well.
Yeah,
Same deal.
Throw Noel in.
Yeah.
When we interviewed Noel, we were astonished at being in the vicinity of him playing those tunes. It's like you think it's easy to play, and having heard 1,000 cover bands play those songs and always going, yeah, it sounds right, but actually hearing him do it, it's like there's things that he does that not a single rhythmical stroke is left to chance. It is all predetermined.
Yeah.
He's not just strumming away.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is remarkably satisfying to play I'm going to say simple, and I don't mean that as a pejorative term. I mean a non-flashy, non-ego-driven guitar part that is the backbone to a song, and play it well.
Yeah.
And it's such a cool thing to do when you get it right.
Completely.
Moving right along, says non-aligned. Would you rather A, shave your head and your facial hair, or B, burn one of your own guitars in the fireplace to ash? Well, yeah.
A.
Shave every day of the week.
A. Completely.
Yeah. Depends which guitar though. At the moment, the Strat in the fire would be good. Thank you, non-aligned. Hopefully you would do the same. Yeah. John Fremers random videos says, which guitar player's music do you wish you discovered earlier in your playing life?
Great question. I'm discovering guys all the time. At the moment, I'm listening to a guitar player called Michael Sembello. He was like a child genius. When he was 17, he was sort of discovered by Stevie Wonder. If you listen to Songs in the Key of Life, there's an amazing sort of fusion tune called Contusion. And that's him playing on there when he was like 20 or 21. And he wrote the theme to Flashdance. What a Feeling. That's him. And he sings it and he plays guitar on it. That's guitar solo. And he's an amazing, a super talented songwriter, but flipping heck, what a guitar player. And the Stevie Wonder sort of discovered him. It's really, really cool.
What's his name again?
Michael Sembello.
Sembello.
Yeah.
Michael Sembello. As a practitioner of conscious presence, of course, I don't wish anything, Daniel.
No.
It's not possible in a state of conscious presence to wish anything. That said, Michael Landau.
Yeah, right.
But
Maniac. Sorry, that's the one. Maniac.
Maniac. Was that Hall & Oates?
No, that's Michael Sembello. Yeah.
It's funny, because you do hear a lot of stuff when you're younger, but it didn't go in for me. You going to come up here, or are you going to stay down there? Come up here. Come on. Oh, you've got dirty feet, Rosie. Welcome, Rosie, to the chat. Rosie has joined the chat. Woof. Hello, baby dog. It's funny. An old friend of mine came in today, Paul.
Yeah.
And Paul and I played in bands when we were really young. Happy birthday, Dad, by the way. It's my dad's birthday today.
Oh, lovely.
Happy birthday, Bri.
Happy birthday, Brian.
It made me think about it because when we were kids, Dad used to drive us to gigs and stuff. But Paul came in today and we're going to revitalise the old band and play some stuff. And he came in, he hasn't played bass in 20 years.
No way. Oh, that's awesome.
And we were playing tunes that I haven't played in 20 years. Not only did I remember them, but I now know the right chords, which I didn't back then.
Oh, okay, nice.
And by way of saying that, I just couldn't hear stuff back then. And I can only partially hear it now. For example, you go to a 4-chord and then the diminished happens in a blues. And I just had no idea what that was years ago.
Right.
But now I know what it is and I can play it. And similarly, what did we do? We were playing Tightrope by Stevie Ray. I just realised I've been playing the riff wrong for 30 years.
Wow.
Because I couldn't hear.
Yeah,
so
okay.
My point is, if I'd have heard Landau back then, I wouldn't have been able to hear it anyway.
Yeah, sure. That's so true. That's so true.
But if I had been able to hear it and I had stumbled upon him years and years ago, then perhaps my playing would have progressed a bit more.
Yeah.
But again, you shouldn't really think about it like that because you are where you are and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Great question. Thank you.
Yeah, great question.
Thank you very much, John. Fat old guy at 5,000 metres. Fat old guy at 5,000 metres says, I get adrenaline or something at gigs that makes me forget the details of the gig. The better the gig, the worse it is. Have you experienced this? There's no worse about it. You can't remember because you're not thinking. Right. And you're simply in the flow and experiencing it.
Yeah.
Now, it might be that your various brain chemicals are making you race a bit, or you've done a load of speed, one or the other, but don't do that. I think it's entirely a good thing. Don't you?
Yeah, I do. I do. But I know what you mean, because there's so much stuff that I don't remember about some great gigs. I think it also depends on if you were like super nervous about something and your focus is on other stuff. That can also have an adverse effect. I don't know. It's one of those things that I think because you and I've gigged so much, I've never really, certainly the last, 10, 15 years. Actually, the only gigs I ever got really nervous at was the solo gigs I had when I first got to the UK.
Yeah.
That is awful.
They are nerve-wracking, aren't they, solo gigs?
Awful, just awful. But, if I'm with anyone else, like the duos I did with Doug, never a second was I nervous. Yeah, but if you're in the flow and you're just having fun, it stands to reason that all the details of that gig wouldn't necessarily stick in your mind.
It adds to the pile of things that annoy the crap out of me when you go to a gig, and I mean, it was at Davy G. I almost walked out on the second song because he starts playing, boom, phones go up. Everyone's got their phone up,
Right.
and it's like, don't do that.
And
just
especially
enjoy it in the moment there with your own senses.
Yeah.
This, looking at the back of a screen while he stood on stage, you're insane.
yeah, what's the bass player's name?
Dave Smith.
No. Davy G's bass player.
What's his name, Dan?
You know his name, right? You're just waiting for my brain to kick in. Guy Pearce.
No.
Guy Pratt. Guy comes out on stage, and so I got the P right. So, Guy comes out on stage just before they start saying, "Please keep your phones away and just be in the moment with us." And everyone's like, "Yeah!" As soon as they come out on stage, phones straight up.
Should be a law against it.
Yeah.
Actually, there shouldn't be a law against it. People just shouldn't be so dumb. And if you were one of those people and you're annoyed that I've said that, honestly, just don't do it. It's much better in your memory than it is on your phone.
Shall I show you the ones I took on my phone?
Did you do it as well?
I got a couple of pictures.
Oh, Christ.
I wanted a couple of pictures because I'd never seen him before.
We should start a society, whereas if someone gets their phone out at a gig, the bouncer should have a hammer and throw it on the floor and smash it.
Okay.
Just don't take it in there. What if it's an emergency?
Yeah. Anyway, I took a couple of pictures, and I'm glad I did.
Scott Curry. Hi, Scott. Actually, when we finally work out how to use the new Roland VR6 HD, we can put some jingles in for Mixed Moan, can't we?
Oh, yes. Yeah. We'll have a few as well.
Yeah.
We'll have varying levels of Mixed Moan. Yeah, definitely. But a Christmas version of your moan will be brilliant.
With sleigh bells. Ching, 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 ching. Mixed Moan in a minor key. Scott Curry. Hi, Scott. Scott says, I was feeling down because of all the hate in the world, but then we saw Greg Koch last Thursday in Boston in a small club because of TPS, so there is hope. Many thanks. Please take a question from our lovely chat friends.
Wonderful.
We will, Scott. Right, I am looking for a question mark. Thank you for everyone who chimed in with Guy Pratt, James McLean. I am Stoic Dan.
Come
on, all I need is a question mark.
Jim B says, Dan, where do the melody notes sit in the chords when you're playing a chord melody? It can vary, but generally,
usually
I think
on the top.
Yeah, I think of the center section as the rhythm part. The lower strings is the bass section. And then the top couple of strings. So it's just, yeah, if you can get those three going together, I think if you watch any of Tommy Emmanuel explains it really well when he get he gets his bass going down here.
I couldn't afford a bass player. I couldn't afford a
yeah, all
drummer,
that stuff, and so you know, so he goes through it. But the cool thing about having the center section chords, the lower strings for the bass, and the top one is the top line melodies, is that when you get it going, you get to a point where you can, they don't become completely disconnected, but they have a life of their own. Yeah.
I know what you mean, though. I find it hard. Like, I listen to jazz standards, and I find the melody is often so buried in harmony.
Yeah.
I struggle to sing along. I mean, it would help knowing the song in the first place, obviously, but if you listen to a pop song, the melody is very, very, very obvious.
Yeah, sure.
Because everything is diatonic and in key, but harmony is, I know it technically it is in key, but it doesn't sound in key because it sounds jarring.
Yeah. But it also depends on, if you're doing a, I did a chord solo version to America by Simon and Garfunkel. And, you know, that's not jazz at all. And it's just playing the chords, but then picking out the, you know, the melody in the top. And I love doing that. It's really fun. I also think it's one of the best things that you can do if you want to, pick a tune that you really love and then work out your own arrangement of it. Don't go to YouTube and find that someone that's playing it and then work it out. Just sit down with the chords and then find the melody notes and see if you can join it up together. It's a really wonderful thing to lose yourself in and will improve your guitar playing immensely. That would be my suggestion. There you go.
Moving right along, Tim Good. Hello, Tim.
Hello, Tim.
Timmy Be Good. He says, hey, D&M, in my last two bands, I often get comments from my bandmates and fans. Fans, eh? That would be a new one on us. Fans at your gigs. That my tone really pops out thanks to your tutelage. Any advice on how to get my bandmate to get his tone to pop out too, as he's often buried in the mix?
Just watch more TPS videos.
I would have thought a good place to start, Tim, is to tell him what you're doing.
Yeah. It also depends. It depends on the roles that you've got, because sometimes, if you're playing lead for things, you want your tone to pop out, but complementary tones is really important to have, and you can do so many wonderful creative things with two guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At its simplest, not standing out of a rock and roll band mix is first a matter of, well, it's equally a matter of volume and EQ and where the volume in that EQ is. So if your friend likes shall we say, a comfortable sound that has plenty of bass, a little bit of treble, but isn't too kind of spiky in the mid-range, and by that I mean bass is going to be everything below 200 hertz and treble is going to be everything above, let's say, 2K. It's no coincidence that a Tube Screamer's mid-hump is somewhere between 500 and 800 hertz. A Klon's mid-hump is somewhere around 1K. If you introduce a graphic equalizer pedal and you start boosting those mid-range frequencies, anything from 500 is going to sound low MIDI, 1 to 2K is going to sound very nasal, but those are the ones that are going to really pop you out of a mix. So it could just be a case of EQing, rolling off some of that bass. You know what? One of the things we've done in the last week or so is Scott McKeon has come in, and we made a video that Dan mentioned earlier using the Fender Vibratone speaker to go for some Stevie Ray Vaughan sounds. Dan and I went further with that today just to investigate that a bit more. But I was in the prep for that, I was listening to the Stevie Ray Live Alive record, which was a bit of a car crash, truth be told.
An album.
He was in a bad way.
Right.
He collapsed on that tour.
I remember going to the record store with my brother, who had ordered it, and opening up the cover and seeing all the amps on stage. And it's like the whole stage is there. Half of it is just his amps.
Yeah.
And the rest of the band's on the other side of the stage. And just thinking it was epic.
It was epic, but stick it on. Now, you could work out with a Marshall Major, 2 Dumble 412s, a Dumble Steel String Singer, 2 Vibreverbs, 2 Super Reverbs. I think that was it, but maybe there was something more. That amplifier combination is going to create this unbelievable concoction of frequencies right across the board. Listen to the mix, almost no bass in it, in the guitar sound.
Right.
And sorry, as a very long way of making the point that guitar sound that you love when you're sat here playing is great. Once you get in the band, you just need to drop a good amount of that bass off if it's a complex mix. If it's 2 guitars, keys, bass and drums, for example, you just don't want the low end in the guitar because the keys got loads of it and the bass has got loads of it and the kick drum's got loads of it. Now, if you're playing in a trio, power trio, then sure, go for your life. Fill up all the frequencies. But I think it's likely to be a matter of EQ and volume. So he needs to be louder when he needs to be heard, and that EQ curve needs to be tweaked a bit. One final thing, I don't know if you do this in order to help you pop out of the mix, but something Dan showed me years ago, a really short delay, 30, 40, 50 milliseconds, but definitely under 50, because if you go beyond that, you start veering into slapback territory. And have the mix set as loud as the original note.
Boom.
That'll pop you right out.
Chris Quinn says, Dan and mix ideas are okay, but I found berating my bandmates works best. The other thing is, I mean, I don't know where your other guitar player is at on his journey, but it might be a right hand thing. There might be a bit of confidence there that you could help him out with when he needs to dig in a bit more, you know. That it goes hand in hand with all the tone stuff. Just be aware of, make sure that he's comfortable and confident playing the parts that he's playing.
Yes, that's a really good point. Maybe he's just tickling a bit.
Yeah,
that's a really good point, actually.
I was due.
Rich Amenta wants to know, Mick, what pickups are you running in your Gold Top? They are whatever came in it. So we worked out last week, I think, that it's a 2006 Tom Murphy True Historic. Or it might be 16, we're not quite sure. We think 2006, probably. I wonder if it might be 2016. Anyway, it's got custom buckers in. So if that dates it to 6 or 16, like if the custom buckers weren't out in 2006, then it is a 16. But it has custom buckers, Gibson custom buckers, and I have absolutely no desire to change them. It's such a spectacularly well-sorted guitar.
What I love about that guitar is, I think you've been, like with the 61 and that guitar, you've found these guitars that were just perfect, and you haven't messed with them. I can't help but messing with them, and 99% of the time it's always a mistake. And the only guitar that you have messed with, which is the 345, you've turned it into an absolute belter of a guitar by taking things out of it, the chokes. But from the first note I heard that guitar, it was like, that's the Les Paul. You know,
It's a
just
great guitar.
Astonishing guitar.
The strings are a bit dead, which is very sad.
Thomas Stonehuer says it's a 16 then.
Great, thank you, Thomas.
Yes. David Burke says custom buckles were first introduced in 2012, so it would be a 2016.
2016 then, great. Tell you what, I've forgotten what we didn't do today. I made a mental note to do it in the show that we did today and didn't do it. It was not play a Strat.
Right. Oh, I am Stoic Dan says, correction Dan, he messed with the casino to great success as well. That's very true.
Yeah, and the 335.
Yeah.
I think I can tell when a guitar's got something in it and it's just not coming out.
Yeah. I mean, I just prefer to find a guitar that's there, you know, and not... Just for me personally, I've been chasing for things that weren't necessarily in the guitar sometimes when I bought guitars.
Yeah.
And I think you can get stuck in a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But you have a lot more experience with multiple guitars than I've had. Being on the Guitar Magazine for so many years, and you know, with all that, you've got a better idea for that stuff than I do.
I think I can tell when the chassis is worth it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yes.
But like, this is a good example for me. Like, I bought this, and I put the titanium saddles in the bridge. I started messing around with the neck pickup and that, and then a couple of months ago I just went, hang that, and I just put it all back to exactly how I bought it. And it's just like...
I was really surprised when you put the titanium saddles on, but you know, each to their own.
Yeah, it's I don't know, I think I was so used to playing red, and so used to that sharp attack that wasn't when I thought, well, maybe that will bring something out of this guitar. But no, it didn't need it. It needed...
It's killer.
That.
It's killer. Cypress Glenn says, Mick, do you prefer playing on a Gibson or a Fender in terms of playability? Either. Depends on the material. So there's some things that require Strat, and there are some things that require Gibson, and I like playing them both, because to sort of touch on what Dan just said, in younger years, I can remember getting my first Les Paul and trying to play it like my Strat and thinking, wow, this doesn't work. Rubbish. I don't like Les Pauls. But of course, as years go by and you learn a bit, now I play a Les Paul in a completely different way than I play the Strat, and I play different types of music on it, and it does a different job. So it's kind of like saying, you know, do you prefer wellies or trainers? Well, it really depends what you're doing. You don't want to wear your trainers to stand in a pond.
Yeah.
This analogy's going everywhere, isn't it? So yeah, I love them both. Good. Okay, let us move right along to Simon V. RDJ. Hello,
hey,
Simon.
mate.
Looking forward to seeing you next year. I think it's next year.
Do we have any more experience days
We've
between?
got one more
at the end of this month. Next week.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Evening all, says Simon V. RDJ. YouTube's Rob Scullen holds the world record for the largest pedal board of 319 pedals in 2019. Would you consider beating that record? Oh, and throw another horse meat on the Barbie for me. I think you've been watching the TPS Christmas special. Steaming Yule log.
319? We could do that tomorrow.
Well, you've got to power them all, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know a man.
Well, I hear the gauntlet hitting the floor.
I am up for that.
Yeah. All right.
320.
You're on, Simon.
Just to really annoy.
You're on, Simon.
Yeah, okay.
Let's do it. Okay. We'll do it. Thank you for the
So
suggestion.
I'm assuming they all have to be on and getting something through. Okay. Man, we could easily do that. Well, not easily, but we could definitely do it.
Well, it means 318 patch cables.
It's all good. All good.
Okay.
There we go. That's yeah. Okay. I have ideas. This would be great.
Gentlemen, says Ian Jeffrey. Hello, Ian. He says, my Gristle King only stacks well at gigs. Cranked AC30 and a Koch twin tone. What circuit is it most like, or do you have a pedal that only works at gigs?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what the Gristle King is. I don't know what sort of a circuit it is. But if it stacks well at gigs, it means it's designed by someone who plays it loud at gigs. Yeah.
So it does have an IC.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a JFET, which may well be on the input.
Mm-hmm.
It's got an NPN silicon transistor in Q1, and it has germanium diodes.
Mm-hmm.
So literally no idea by looking at the circuit, because I don't know what it is. My recollection of the Gristle King, so T-Rex made one, and then somebody else made one, and then somebody else made one, didn't they?
Right.
If I'm getting this right. Gristle King being related to Greg Koch. I think it's a fairly hairy sounding boosty drive.
Yeah.
I'm putting 2 and 2 together here and making 19. But if it is a fairly, like, take the Tula, for example, that Josh Smith loves so much. That is a great example of a pedal that loads of people bought and went, ew, I don't get it. Because it really, really does need to be hit by Josh or somebody of similar ilk and put into an amp that's on the edge. Because on its own, there's so much high end, there's so much kind of going on, and there's that real lovely sizzle in the top that if you just put it straight into a super clean amp, it can sound really fizzy and not with much bottom end and just a bit sort of sharp and sizzly. And I wonder, and it is a supposition, not based on any knowledge, if the Gristle King falls into that world where, as you say, you're cranked AC30.
It makes sense into an amp that's working.
Yeah. Because what happens is, it's really interesting with treble. You take a treble booster and put it into a wide open Fender Twin. Ouch. Because nothing is compressing, nothing is overdriving. If you take a treble booster and put it into a crank Marshall, all those treble frequencies, instead of just sounding sharp and hurting your ears, they go into overdrive. They square right off. And that's that beautiful rock and roll sound that we love. So I think it's probably something to do with that.
Yeah.
That it's quite, tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to assume that it's quite a sizzly, boosty, fun kind of drive, not a flat sounding, top rolled off tube screamery mid boost.
Yeah, and because he likes a bit of top.
He likes that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that helps. Why not? Says, any advice on dialing sounds in at gigs when you don't have the time or the gear you use at home? Yeah. Turn the amp up as loud as you can get away with and use the guitar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just get it balanced. Just put all the EQ controls somewhere in the middle, somewhere where they make the point of most difference, and get it up as loud as you possibly can and use the guitar from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I would do.
Chris Quinn says, if you're using a Koch pedal, you need to be riding a mighty tone dragon into the dark night sky. I like that. Very good. Mighty steed.
We're not afraid.
Love that, man.
I've got to stop saying it's really annoying. Carl Longbottom.
Hey, Carl.
Hi, Carl. Good to hear from you, buddy. He says, evening, gents. I've just ordered a Zilla 112 open back cab to be loaded with a 12-inch blue to go in a hand-wired Emprise Helmsley head, Princeton.
Lovely.
Oh, man, that'd be good. I've heard so many good things about Emprise amps. I think Marcus Reeves is a fan. Are you, Marcus? If I get that right. We should try one. Enjoy, Carl.
Lovely,
Michael
mate.
Giliberto.
Hey, mate.
Hi, Michael. He says, hi, D&M and all. I'm assembling a small board for rehearsals and some gigs using your boost drive, D&M drive, into an OD, a boost and a shape, plus tuner and delay. I don't have any question, so please take one from the chat if
thanks,
you
mate.
please. Enjoy that, Michael. I think keeping it simple on the board's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I love that idea of boost drive and then a shaper afterwards, so you can kind of get it to where you need to be heard.
Yeah, brilliant.
I think that's pretty much how we'd both do it.
Oh, Eli's on.
Is he?
Yeah, he's just come on.
Eli Lester?
No, Eli Bloom.
Oh, Eli Bloom.
Yes.
Eli from Stringjoy. Hello, Eli.
Oh, g'day, mate.
Hope you well,
He's asked
buddy.
you a question.
Eli says, Mick, is your 61 still set up with a 3-way switch? Gaga over a new to me Strat and a 5-way would be convenient, but I don't want to change anything sound wise. Any sacrifice in the switch?
Is it? I take it it's one of your Sherwoods. Is it, Eli? Eli's got a couple of Sherwood green Strats.
Oh,
There goes me plectrum. I better pick it up, otherwise the dog will get it.
would you, if that was a custom shop, would you change the 3-way to a 5-way?
I think I'm going to anyway.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's to the right of you.
There it is. Okay, the guitar is finally in tune. Yes, it does have the original 3-way switch. As you can see. And it is a bit of a pain just to lodge it in. When I first got it, it was so oxidized that you had to really yank it, and then I cleaned it, and now it's too slippy.
Oh, really? Okay.
But the volume knob's been replaced anyway, and it's gone really scratchy. So I'm going to try a 280 in there and see what that's like. And I might put a 5-way in just because it just makes it a bit quicker.
Right.
So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it on a custom shop or on a. Matt Schofield's got a 5-way in here. So many old Strats have got a 5-way in. If it's an old one and you want to preserve the value of it and blah blah blah, then don't change it. But if it's a new guitar, put a 5-way in. It won't. In my opinion, it has absolutely zero tonal impact.
Right.
And of course, someone's going to disagree with me. I think Paul Jackson Jr. played that, didn't he?
Wouldn't surprise me. He played everything.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Good luck, Eli. Yeah, I mean, people will say there's no difference in caps of the same value depending on what the construction of the cap is. Well, I definitely don't agree with that.
No, I don't agree.
And pot values don't make much difference. They make an enormous difference. And then get into old pots versus new pots. They make a difference. They do.
Absolutely, they do.
But the 5-way switch, I'm not sure. I am Stoic Dan. Hello, he says, I bought you each a pint, depending on the exchange rate from the US. I think that will cover a couple of pints. Dan, thank you.
That's brilliant. Thank you, mate.
So you can help me find a good chorus vibrato that doesn't flip phase. Help me, please.
Patience.
What's your budget, Dan? If you want the best chorus vibrato that has ever been made, and you've got a few quid, just hang on.
That would be my suggestion as well.
Just wait. And I don't say that lightly. It is the best.
It really is.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a bit more flanger vibrato, but anyway. That does a really good one. What else do we say in chorus vibrato land? What about the
Vibrato,
Echo 6 one?
my
Does that fit the
favourite.
phase?
My favourite vibrato is the diamond vibrato.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. The
And
new
that-
ones sound incredible.
This is the old one, but Dan says the new one is
The new
really
ones
great.
are amazing. Yeah, absolutely wonderful.
Just as a point of note, if you don't know the difference between chorus and vibrato, Daniel, what's the difference between chorus and vibrato?
A vibrato is a chorus that doesn't have the direct signal. So it's based around a delay line, which is the delay time is on an LFO, a low frequency oscillator, and that delay time the LFO controls the delay time, so it speeds up and slows down. So you get this pitch, this wobbling pitch. Now, if I add that wobbling pitch in conjunction with a direct sound, you get chorus. Think of a Roland JC120 amplifier. You got one speaker is your direct guitar sound. The other speaker has this changing of pitch, the vibrato, and that gives you your chorus. So interestingly enough, on the diamond pedals, you've got a mix control, so it does do chorus as well. But the way I use it wet dry is I have my vibrato on one side.
Some stupid.
Oh, it's 24 volt.
Oh, for God's sake!
There's one of the new ones out there. It's 9 volt
Where is it?
on the table.
Right. We're going to demonstrate chorus and vibrato.
Awesome.
Keep them entertained.
Because we can do that. Yeah, so a vibrato pedal just has the wet sound, but the chorus pedal has the direct sound as well. So if you think of a Boss CE2, you've got depth and rate, and that controls the depth of the modulation and the speed, but the mix of the two, the blend of the vibrato and the direct sound is set, and that gives you your chorus. The vibrato pedal, you just get the wet sound, but you can then blend in the dry sound. So yes, a big fan of the diamond vibrato. I think that's wonderful. Flanger was another one I think you were asking about. Lots of good ones. Favorite one is coming soon.
It's obviously not in the box.
Oh really? Okay, I thought it was out there.
Does the well, the box is there, but the pedal isn't.
Oh, okay.
Does the
Poopy poo poo.
Okay, right. This does it. This is the Jam Pedals
The Ripley Fall.
Ripley Fall, which is the same as the chorus pedal they do, but it also has a phaser built in, but it's the first thing I can find. So we'll just plug this in. And it's my favourite chorus pedal. I'm happy to tell you. So here we go then. Obviously my little patch leads aren't long enough. So we'll what we're going to do is, yeah, come back on the pedal board there, Bebbers. Here's the chorus pedal. You can't see it in great detail, but maybe I'll do a close-up with the other camera in a sec. What we'll do is we'll start playing, and you're going to hear a bunch of stuff. We can't talk and play at the same time. What you're going to hear is a vibrato sound only. Then we're going to switch another amplifier on, and you will hear the other amp, which is not doing a vibrato.
It's just dry.
Just dry. That is chorus. Okay?
Very good.
Actually, what we'll do first is we will start with chorus into one amp. I will flick this switch, which will put it into vibrato mode, which will remove the dry. It will go from chorus to vibrato.
Very good.
So, Bebbers, if you can give us some amps, please. The Vibratone won't be on, it'll just be these two. Down on the voices.
Can't do none better than that.
I really, really hope you could hear it. I can't tell from the level meters what the mix is. We need to fix this.
Okay.
Because I think the 2-rock was not barely registering. Anyway, hopefully what you heard was we started off with just chorus into 1 amp. Then you heard it flip to vibrato, and what you heard is the chorus effect go away, and all you will have heard is a pitch modulation, quite an aggressive pitch modulation actually. We then added the 2-rock in as the second amplifier, which wasn't modulating the delay time in order to create a pitch modulation, so you got real chorus.
Real chorus. And there's nothing like it. Nothing like it. And using a vibrato to do that is just magic. And the diamonds for me is the one that I just connect with. I love the shape and the tone of it. And yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah. So we really like that as a, and actually if you don't want to go for all of that, you can just go for this.
Yeah.
Which is the chorus and vibrato part. It doesn't flip phase. It's got the simple switch to go chorus or vibrato. It is the jam pedals waterfall, and it's what we would choose.
Yeah, absolutely. It's wonderful.
If you need stuff like stereo, dual waveforms, all that kind of stuff, maybe you want to wait.
I would say so. Ah, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, jam waterfall.
Jam waterfall, lovely.
That's what we go.
Very good.
Groovy. Okay, moving right along.
Moving right along. Every time you say that, I hear the Muppets. They did a... that too. Subro Pontes says, Dan, where did you buy that hat? Found it online at a place called Trend Him. Dot something.
It's not even a word, is it?
Not even a word. That's what we're reduced to now.
Just
finding things that aren't words.
That aren't even words. Trendhim.com.
PV says, started quiet, but then the guitar was okay with the second amplifier. Thanks, mate. Yes, we'll get there.
Yeah. I think
It's using all the new loveliness.
It's also, Dan, you've got to remember that when you play quietly on the show, I probably give you an extra 10 dB in the boost, in the mix.
Okay.
So you just got to be loud, man. Come on, rock and roll. There you go. Now I feel happy. Stop saying
Okay.
Kai Buchner. Hi, DNM. I'm trying to replace my Hughes and Kettner tube factor at the moment.
Ooh.
It takes up too much space, and I only use the left side anyway. But I love the tube boost, as it's always on first in the chain. Any suggestions? I don't remember the tube factor's tone. Same format as that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, maybe a tiny bit smaller.
Yeah, there
actually
it is.
significantly smaller. Well, we really like the Hageman pedals.
Hagman.
Check
really
out a
cool.
video from a couple of weeks ago where we did. Was it Tube Screamer or Tube Driver?
Yep,
Was it that one?
that was one. That was you were Solo Man.
Oh, Solo Man, yeah. Did I have the Hageman in that one?
You did.
Because you hadn't heard it.
No, that sounded awesome.
Yeah, Hageman do a 12 AX7 driver, which is really great. Simon Kingsley stuff. Sorry, I always want to call him Simon Kingsley. Simon Jarrett from Kingsley. His stuff, Dan and I regard as
The benchmark, the high water mark.
absolute benchmark.
Yeah.
Something like the Page
The
Boost
Page.
would
Page
be the
Boost.
thing to go for.
Yeah.
It's spectacularly good. But I've got to say, I really like the Hageman. Not a huge amount of gain, so I don't know how much gain you want.
Yeah.
And it is ferociously loud, which is obviously a very good thing. The Black Star Department 10 Boost is really good.
Oh, that's wonderful, that thing.
If they still make it.
Yeah, the Department 10.
We
It's
really,
great. I think it's next door.
is it?
Yeah.
We really like that.
Yeah,
So
I
Black
really
Star
dig it.
Department 10 Boost. It's a white pedal. It's a single size, and that is really good. We were super impressed with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Three things to check out.
John Freeman says, "Do you do the reindeer tee as a hoodie?" No. This is the reindeer long sleeve high high mega premium long sleeve tee
With
for
the
Christmas.
Marty Boo says, will you put the chorus face to face with the Jackson Audio New Wave? We'll put it face to face with absolutely anything. Yeah. Is the
Yeah.
New Wave, is it digital or is it analog? Because if it's analog, it's worth comparison. If it's digital, it's not. Sorry. Yeah, analog chorus vibrato. Yeah. Be good to have a listen to that. Oh, in the same box as like the Golden Boy and all that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure it's very good.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's very good. They always make great stuff.
Mm-hmm. New viewer from Germany, Josh.
Josh Tanberg.
Oh, Josh Tamberg. Hello, first time listening from Germany. Welcome, Josh. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Josh. Ranzer is on.
Hello, mate.
Oh, a little bit. I don't know if this is this a barbed comment? I don't fully understand it. Did you know in Bible creation myth, Tuesday is the only day when and God saw that it was good twice. Now with TPS Tuesday, it can be thrice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ran. Apologies if I don't fully understand the comment. I think what you're saying is we're here on a Tuesday and that is a good thing.
That's right.
Thank you,
That's
buddy.
very good.
We appreciate it. Lawrence Henderson. Hello, Lawrence.
Hello, Lawrence.
Nice to hear from you, buddy. He says, what rig would you suggest for clean country twang and Bonamassa drive from as few parts as possible?
Interesting. You need something that's got decent amount of headroom. You're talking. What's the not the deluxe reverb? What's the not a twin either?
Pro?
Like a Pro. There was a DeVille. What's the 2x12 DeVille they used to do? It was
Hot Rod DeVille?
the Hot Rod DeVille that was really loud and clean.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
That with a some sort of Dumbley drive section in it.
Depends what the budget is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really? I would say for good value, that's a really good shout.
Yeah,
Hot Rod
I think
DeVille.
so.
Because you get that strident mid-range in the hot rods. They've always the mids are pushed a bit more in the hot rods than they are in like the black panel amps, for
Yeah.
example. So there's certainly the overdrive side of it would serve you well. Country twang might not be
the scoopy thing
as scoopy enough.
Yeah.
But I think if you added something like the Diamond Comp EQ, you could tilt it.
Yeah.
So the Diamond Comp EQ is really, really brilliant. I think maybe there's one up
There.
There's one up there somewhere. Such a great compressor. Gives you that absolute country thing. But because it's got this mids control and a tilt EQ, you can reshape the amp quite radically.
Yeah.
So you could go right into, you know, Blackguard Teleland,
Yep.
no problem. So I would say that, and for a good value amp, definitely the Hot Rod DeVille, nice and loud too.
Yeah.
And a Dumbly style pedal, exactly as Dan just said. What Dumbly style pedal? Take pick.
Yeah.
Again, for value, availability, size, I would go with the J-Rocket HRM.
HR, yeah, absolutely. Astonishing sounding thing.
Really brilliant.
Yeah.
Here we are. I think it looks different now. The next version of it looks different than that. That's what the next version of it looks like.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they're really wonderful.
So you've got Dumbly Overdrive. I mean, I know people might associate Bonamassa with Tweed Overdrive. They might associate him with Marshall Overdrive, but actually what he tends to do, I mean, I know he had that time where he had the 4 Tweeds, but what he tends to do is use the Marshalls for bottom and top, and the punch through the middle, the solo tone, that's usually the Dumble sound. HRM's going to serve you well for that. The Diamond Comp will enable you to EQ and get the twang for the country, and then it's about picking an amp. If you've got reasonable, you know, sensible budget, then a Hot Rod DeVille or Deluxe would be great, preferably a DeVille. If you've got loads of money, 2-Rock Bloomfield drive, and you can forget about this.
Beautiful.
That's what I'll do.
Lee Rotherall says, "Hi guys, I recently watched you guys with Rick Beato. What a knowledgeable episode that was. Yeah, it was really fun. He was holidaying in the UK and he reached out and says, I'd love to do a video with you guys. Are you up for it? And we said, no. We said,
Get out of here.
get out of here, you.
Beato, not you.
No, of course.
Anyone
And
but you.
So he came up and he was just lovely. We had the best day. He's just released a video with Tim Pierce, which is one of my favourite videos that he's done. It's just him and Tim in the studio playing through real amps, using some vintage microphones and just getting the most epic guitar sounds. It's really fun. But yeah, he's really great. Really great guy.
Yeah, he was. And what was really interesting about Rick, I mean, if you think about how successful he is and the number of views he gets and all of that, he was totally engaged, wasn't he? He was super
completely.
interested in everything we do, and he was completely... I don't know why I wasn't expecting that, but sometimes when you meet rock stars, they're not massively interested in you. But he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
he was great.
Bless you, Rick. And congratulations on the Gilmore thing. That was
Yeah.
a really big deal. A really, really big deal. Yeah. How does the HRM compare to the Dude, says Matt Swanton. I've never put them side by side, Matt. The Dude, I think, is like a Dumble Overdrive special. The HRM has the Hot Rubber Monkey mod, whatever the hell that is. So if you...
I can hazard a guess.
If you investigate that, that will probably tell you. I know that he changed the tone stack quite significantly at some point, did Dumble. And you could have two options, or there's the Skyline option and something else. So it might have something to do with that. As somebody who loves Dumble tones and sounds, I should know, but I don't. But I think it might be something to do with that. I think the Hot Rubber Monkey was a mod, maybe.
Right. That's really cool. Really cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are we doing with Super Chai?
We're doing good.
Good.
We are doing good. And the next one will be from Justin Baylog. Hi,
Hey,
Justin.
Justin.
Long time, mate. I hope you're doing well. He says, it's been a minute since I could catch a live. Dan, glad you're back. Mick, the last play out you did was legend. Thank you, mate. Love you guys and everyone here in the TPS family. Grab one from the chat if you can.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
We shall. Right. Dobiog says, I'm looking to trade some pedals rather than the usual selling. Any tips or recommended places to do so, online or physical? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Like a swap meet. An online swap meet.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could...
In Facebook groups, they will let you do that, I think, some of them. Like
That's a good
Pedal
shout.
Boards of Doom and stuff like that.
Or you could list it on eBay or Reverb and say, trades invited, I'm looking for, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That might be a way to do it. So put it up for sale and then go, I would also be interested in a trade. That could work. But yeah, I don't know anywhere specifically. If anyone else does, please chime in. And Daniel Mincher says, Andertons. Maybe they part X, yes.
Yeah, some places will part X, that's right.
The trouble with part Xing with a retailer is they give you half of what it's worth. So they got to make their money, right?
Yeah, for sure.
James Bless says, if I buy a Monk, will you sign it for me? Of course we will.
Yes, mate.
Of course we will, James. Just put a note in the order to ask. And we will do that. Who would you like us to sign it from? I could do Eric Clapton quite well.
I can do any local GP.
Yeah. Get some Prozac. Gear page classified, says Bill Barfoot.
Yeah. A couple of people saying gear page.
Reddit has a subreddit for that.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Let's trade pedals. What's the Gilmore thing, says James McLean. Rick Beato managed to snag David Gilmour for an interview.
Sure did.
Which is really amazing.
Some little clips of it. I don't think the interview's not out yet, but he has released a few clips of the interview.
I love the way he just uses the original audio from Shine On. It's like, how do you get away with that?
I know. David just makes it so.
Well, he's just sold it all, hasn't he?
Oh, they have too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Jeremilatos. Hi, Sean.
Hello, mate.
Hi, Mick and Dan. Welcome back, Daniel. Please
Thank you,
take a question from the chat. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for your kindness. Mark Hunter. Hello, Mark. Thanks for being on. Mark says, the Cockness Monster Supreme is an intriguing item. Do you know of any other pedal maker making a large board like that, made up of an assortment of pedals? I don't believe I've ever seen it before. Now,
no. If you go back to the days of Pete Cornish rigs, that's what he would do. He would mod pedals and put them in all in one contraption.
I think there are versions of it. So if you get into Tech 21 territory,
yeah, they've got those
they have
fly
boards, bunch of stuff, but it's kind of shrunk down and it's presumably optimized for the size and the format. I mean, I guess the early Boss multi-effects were probably a bit like that, weren't they?
Yeah.
ME5 or something, but I don't know. No, in terms of actual, big component through hole, dare I say, proper pedals being chucked in a box together. Now, I remember when we first saw them, both Dan and I sort of sharp intake of breath going, whoa, it's going to hum like hell. The power supply will be rubbish, because you haven't got any isolation going on and it'll never work.
Works brilliantly.
It works unbelievably well. That pink flow is such a great thing, and the Cockness Monster the same.
Yeah.
So whatever Yanis and the people at Jam are doing, they've really, really done a great job.
They have.
Yeah.
Where did it go? Grayson Scheisler says, Dan, what's the story with your Red Humbucker SG? I'm familiar with your P90 SG, but not that one. So, this guitar, when Mick got his 345, the gentleman that once owned that guitar said, I've got a couple of other things worth looking at. And he happened to have this.
Thank you, Rob. if
And
you're on.
yeah, and I played it and I fell in love with it and I couldn't afford it. And Mick says, well, if you don't buy that guitar, I'm going to buy it.
I didn't have any money either, but I would have borrowed some or found some other way of getting it.
Because it's just the most astonishing guitar. And I've wanted a proper SG for the longest time. So I just made it work and sold a bunch of stuff and ended up with this from 1962.
We'll hear it in a minute.
Yeah,
It's an astonishing guitar.
I love it. It's wonderful.
It's an astonishing guitar. Okay, last super chat tonight will be David Burke. David,
Hello, mate.
I apologise for my bodily function while I was saying your name. Hope you're well, mate. Howdy, gents. Long time no super chat. Well, thank you, buddy. He says, just want to share with like-minded folks that I realised my ambition and just got a Tom Murphy painted, but unaged, 58 reissue Les Paul.
Nice.
It's epic. Please pick a question from the chat. Congratulations. What a nice day. What a nice day that is.
Well done.
Joachim says, hello from Sweden. Joachim says Catherine, that might be the way to explain it. Joachim says, hello from Sweden. I have a question for you. Do you think the original Strymon Big Sky is worth it in 2024? I've got a chance to get one second hand for £250. Is that a good deal?
I would say yes. I had a play with mine the other day and it still sounds fantastic.
Definitely not. Doesn't sound like it's been significantly overtaken, does it? Same with the timeline.
So, yeah, the timeline's gone back on my board. I'm not using reverb much at the moment, just using reverb into the amps. I'm doing more stuff with delays. But I used that Big Sky for ages and it sounds great. There are lots of delays that have interesting functionality stuff. The Big Sky Max has got parallel things in it. There's the new Maris reverb, which is just incredible. But what I find with the Big Sky is that everything's accessible. It's really easy to get your head around. There's some performance features on it that I think are wonderful. Yeah, I still think you have to go a long way to beat a normal Big Sky. The Big Sky and the Timeline, and the Timeline was a game changer. It really did. Like, it was the first time we saw so much of that rack type functionality in a pedal, and the audio quality of it, amazing. And then the Big Sky came along with the reverb, and people were thinking, well, why do I need a reverb pedal? And it, having all of the amazing modulated reverbs and the shimmer functions and the formant vocal type sounds in there, it's a really wonderful sounding thing. So yeah, if those sounds are what you're after, then absolutely, it sounds really great. Just to say, make sure you power it properly.
I just had a quick look on reverb.com at prices, and 250 seems really good. I think that's a great indication of how good the Big Sky is.
Yeah.
It's held its money exceptionally well, which is so unusual for modern digital stuff. It normally plummets in value because it gets upgraded so quickly, but man, they're selling for decent money. So 250 seems like an exceptional deal.
Yeah.
We say yes.
Yes, absolutely.
We say yes. Apparently Bernardo Effects, says BV. Bernardo Effects make something similar. Real pedals all joined together.
Oh, really? Okay.
Bernardo Effects. Thank you, BV. Thank you. We appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's the super chats done. I will just check that we haven't missed anybody. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and thank you for the super chats. We might just have a little mess about. Why don't we? I want you to hear some of the craziness that you're going to hear in a video in a couple of weeks. So by all means ask us a question about it, but I'll keep an eye on the old question. There's a video coming up in a couple of weeks where this Vibratone, right, this old Vibratone. Dan, would you mind just standing up for a second?
Vibratone.
Fender Vibratone belongs to Scott McKeon. The original Fender 10-inch speaker with a spinning thing that goes around. So it's not a Leslie, but basically. And it just sounds stunning. So we'll give you a listen to that. And then what we've been trying to do is recreate something similar using other things, which you can see on the pedal board here. The eagle-eyed among you will have already noticed that one is a Leslie and one is a Vibratone, but actually what we've been talking about is not necessarily the specific facets of those classic bits of gear. It's more about the spatial effect of the physical moving parts.
We just wanted to see if we could do anything to come anywhere close to that physical effect in the room.
Spoiler alert, we couldn't. But,
Couldn't.
we did get some pretty epic sounds anyway.
We did. Oh, we did.
So what I'll do is
Magic.
I'll turn the 2-rock on, that you can just hear the 2-rock. I'll then turn the Vibratone on so you can hear that in all its lovely glory. Yeah, go for it, Bebbers.
Oh man,
Oh,
that is. I've got to find.
I really hope that that was audible and not overdriven, not distorted, and be interested to hear it back. I can't wait to hear it back.
Yeah,
And then sooner rather than later, we'll find some way of monitoring these levels.
yeah. Lots of people saying it sounds amazing. People asking what the motorcycle pedal is. So Hudson Electronics, it's one of their pedals, and it's like a really. I think it's based around a TS style thing.
Yeah, so they do one called the Sidecar. Which was Michael Hudson's kind of take on the Tube Screamer-ish. Calls it germanium clipping overdrive, which you will recognise. Instead of the tone knob, it has treble and bass EQ. It can take a lot more voltage, so it has a lot more headroom, etc., etc.
Right.
What this does, I believe, puts in it's still got low and high cut EQ, but there's some transformer in there as well, I think.
Oh, cool.
So maybe the EQ is actually more console inspired.
Right.
So I wonder if it's this with a touch of what makes the broadcast so special.
Okay.
So I don't know if there is a transformer. Sorry, I don't know much more information. Have a look on the Hudson website and you'll see. We do very much like the sound of it.
Very much. Very, very groovy.
Someone's asked if you can set up to jam together.
We can.
We could.
It's yeah, we could. We could.
Put it on the list.
Yeah, get on the list.
That's good. Everyone's saying it sounds pretty decent. So what you were hearing
We
there,
just have to be really loud.
what you were hearing there was the 2-rock was in the middle, dry, right? We then switched in the Vibratone, which is behind Daniel, rotating speaker, which is being driven by a Victory head. This is the contraption we made up to kind of try and emulate that, and that uses, on this board here,
Got a pedal cam.
on this board here, that uses a preamp, a reverb, and a rotary speaker simulator that hits a stereo power amp into two 112 cabs, and all the Vibratone and everything and the stereo is all mic'd left and right. We have room mics, we have close mics, so I can't wait to hear it back because it's always a bit of a crapshoot.
Everyone's saying it sounded seriously awesome.
More crap than shoot.
It was beautiful, audible and glorious, incredible sounds. It was awesome. There you go. Awesome. Thank you, people.
So you know what will happen now, don't you? They'll say the audio on the
normal shows.
on the normal show is much worse.
Always look on the bright side
Good.
of life.
Good.
Mix ones. Mix ones. Mix ones. Mix ones.
Okay then, everyone. Thank you very much
Yeah, it's fun.
for being with us. Maybe a little bit of meat feast tonight, Daniel.
Oh, really? I would just be, yeah.
Yeah, great. Thanks for being with us, everyone. If you want to see things, you want to see us do things on VCQ, because we now can do things in terms of guitar tones, which we weren't able to do before. Just let us know, and we'll try and make it so. It is very useful to be able to try and demonstrate things like the chorus vibrato thing that we looked at earlier.
Yeah. So I can, answer questions with sounds.
Yeah. And then wig out like
And
idiots
dance.
at the end. So, thanks to BV. Ed, thank you, mate. He says, no, the audio on the normal show is way better. Thanks, Ed. I appreciate that. And the lighting's much better as well. Thanks, Ed. Matt says, normal audio and guitars are well matched, but the overall stream volume is low. Okay, so we need to figure that out. In which case, thank you for being with us. Thank you.
Becca
BB.
says it's like a live show this now. I think this is what we want to do. So
People
this is
want to
really
see
fun.
Fingers of tone
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
we
fingers
are-
of, oh, where have they gone?
down there.
One of the ideas is we will start doing a few shows live. That's one of the reasons we're testing it.
Okay.
Because it does have a certain frisson. It's also absolutely in the moment. And if we can get the audio and video to a standard that you don't moan about, then it makes sense for us to do it live. One of the things that Dan and I are quite good at is doing it live.
I'll just point out a couple of things on the pedalboard camera, if that's all right, Catherine. So this is the motorcycle pedal that Nick was referring to. And then next to that we have the Neo Mini Vent. This is the Facet Fuzz. And then the Megabyte. This is the Maiden. And the Echo Fix Spring Reverb. You see, we can turn them on and off here.
You'll like it.
I've got this nailed.
I feel a jewel.
It's like Wayne's World. I can't see the screen to focus. See, having cables connected is a nightmare.
There you go. Focus. Oh.
Okay, I think there's enough of that.
That's how we end the show.
It's just like Wayne's World without any of the
Without any
entertainment.
of the humour.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Who's
Good.
playing us out?
We're not playing. Are we playing out? Do you want to see?
Yeah, play out.
All right, we'll play you out. Dan's going to play you out.
Come
I'm going
on.
back on the SG. It sounds really glorious.
I think we were overdriving, so I know what that is. So what we've got is a load of line level audio gear, and it's hitting something that I don't think can really take it. So that's a job for another day. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
It's really good to hang out, and thanks for accommodating us on a Tuesday instead of a Monday. We really
Yeah.
appreciate that. Jeff McCurlin's coming in tomorrow, which we're really looking forward to. We're going to do a show with Jeff and catch up with him and everything that's going on with him. So that'll be out in a few weeks, and we very much look forward to seeing him. So
Very much so.
until then, arrivederci, bonjour, and guten tag.
Indeed.
You okay, Bebbers?